Okay, hi guys, we're back again, and Renee's gonna just tell you a little bit about himself because he was supposed to do that in the last video and he didn't. So go ahead.
You didn't have to say that.
Well, I did say it, so just no, it's fine. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Why are you? No, it's fine. Go. Go.
Listen, I grew up in the projects, and I was always poor.
In San Francisco.
Never really had very much money. I have 4 brothers and sisters.
You have 2 sisters.
Two sisters and a brother. I come from a family of 4 kids, anyway.
And 2 parents. It's fine. Go ahead.
Anyway.
Since he left Nike, he's just been doing carpentry, did some security, things like that. So, anyway, you should just know that. And now we're just living here in Portland together. We've been married for 15 years. And we've
16.
15, almost 16 years.
16.
And we've been together for about 18, almost 19 years. So, pretty much half our life. I wanted to talk more about 2007 because I think, I don't know, maybe I didn't say enough about it, but that was a really bad year for us. We, besides Renee being harassed at work.
And Kadir being burned.
And yeah, I mean, Renee was harassed at work, and then he filed the EEOC complaint, I think March 12th. And April 12th, 2007 was the night that Kadira was burned with the tea kettle. And actually, Amy McQuiston actually poured hot water onto her, boiling water onto her leg. And then Todd and Amy just wrapped her in a towel and put her in their basement. And when I called to say goodnight, they admitted she was burned. And I went over there and she had this massive burn. It was 10 to 20% of her body. And when we took her to the hospital, they just rushed her back into the emergency room, drugged her, gave her like this huge vial of Tylenol with codeine, and wrapped up her leg and just literally handed her to Renee, and he carried her out of the hospital. And then I took her back to OHSU the very next day, and they just told me to go to the medical store and get bandages and Silvadene and deal with the burn myself, which is what I did, which is what we did together.
And we did that because we were in shock.
We didn't know. We didn't know that the hospitals were supposed to immediately call the police and call DHS and transfer her.
We didn't know about the burn unit.
Didn't know, even though there's an amazing burn unit here in Portland, and Kadira certainly should not have
Had a manual.
Yeah, she should not have suffered the way she suffered, but she suffered immensely because we cared for her burn here at home, and we did not have the proper tools to do that, and it was very painful. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, they tortured her, and it was completely unnecessary. But it was just to keep Todd and Amy, from criminal prosecution, which they should, technically, the police should investigate this even now, but they never have, and
they're refusing to.
Yeah, they've basically told us they never will. So, that year, Renee's dad also died. That was on March 20th. So he complained at Nike on March 12th. His dad died March 20th. Kadira got burned April 12th, and then Renee was fired August 2007, with no chance to ever be reemployed. So that was pretty much the year we lost everything. And then our daughter Kamaya, who was 4 at the time, she almost died that year from a very rare disease called Kawasaki syndrome, which is basically like an autoimmune disorder. The body attacks itself, and it was very scary because after he left Nike, we were going to have to COBRA our insurance, but it was going to be really expensive, and so we weren't going to do it. But then when Kamaya almost died, they basically were not going to treat her because that's the kind of world we live in. We'll just let somebody die.
If they don't have money.
If they don't have money. So we had to COBRA our insurance, and he took out his retirement, everything, that he had saved, and we basically, that all went to surviving that year. and that was why we waited for the EEOC to do this investigation, because you think, okay, there's this Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the Bureau of Labor and Industries. You think these government entities work? Well, they don't. And the EEOC, even though Renee had a letter from Nike stating, that these things happened, which, do you just want to tell them what happened? No, not yet.
Well, I mean, I can.
Well, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable saying what happened, you don't have to say it yet, but you could say it later. Anyway, maybe we'll save that for a later date. After all of this happened and Renee couldn't find employment because he was applying everywhere. He had 15 years in the footwear industry, but nobody would even interview him after he got kicked out of Nike. And when I say kicked out, he got kicked out. I mean, it was a corporate hazing. The people there were really mean to him. Friends that he had or that he thought he'd had for years stopped talking to him. And it was awful. So we waited for the EEOC because we thought they were going to do something, and they ended up doing nothing. No investigation, nothing. I mean, we believe that the investigator was just paid off because, I mean, Nike's got more money, so.
And there's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't have done a full investigation.
Yeah, because that's their job. So, but they didn't do anything, and so they ended up just giving Renee his right to sue. But then, of course, no attorney would take the case, despite the fact that it was a very good case.
It was a very cut and dry case.
It was just cut and dry. I mean, you can't do what this guy did to Renee, and he did it to other people, and it was horrible. So
what happened was Randy Wolf, he tried to dry hump me, and he dry humped
another
Corey
person.
McCullough, and
in front of him.
Yeah,
and
groped both of us in a very inappropriate, and
basically Nike just came back when Renee sued them and just said, he was subjected to crude jokes. I don't think that's a crude joke.
Wasn't a joke.
I mean, this happened on the Nike campus. It was horrible. I mean, that's why they shut down Exeter. And it's just, it's been really ugly. So we didn't just wake up one day and decide to start this movement. Things happened to us.
We've had some very profound experiences
with the leadership here, and because we've been fighting all these things. What happened to our daughter?
The management of society.
Yeah. So we've been dealing with the management, and we see that they
are completely irresponsible.
They don't know what they're doing, and they cannot make a decision. If it doesn't protect their money, they cannot rule in your favor. So even if some of these judges felt bad for us, and even though they can see the laws were clearly broken here, it doesn't matter because the money is dictating everything that they do. And that's what you see all over this world right now. I mean, there's all these suffering people, and they're just suffering because the money has gotten in the way. So
yeah,
that's why we are not accepting money to run this movement.
We need to get rid of the money because unfortunately the money wouldn't be a problem if we didn't lose sight of what is really important, which is life. But unfortunately, we have prioritized something before life, and right now that something is money.
Right. So we've actually went ahead and replaced the value of life with money. So that is why we have started this movement, because we recognize that this needs to change, and we tried
life matter.
Right, and we tried to talk to these people.
Beings.
We tried to talk to these people.
Yeah,
we tried to talk to your leaders, and they do not listen.
No,
they cannot listen, or they're no longer human. I'm not sure, but what they put us through was hell. So I don't want to see anybody else
experiencing what.
We don't want anybody else to experience what we experience.
And people shouldn't have to.
No, they shouldn't have to. So, anyways, we're going to be making more movies, and we're going to be here talking to you every single day until we change this world. So, thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, and hope you come again.